Patrick Swayze was never just another Hollywood celebrity. He was a presence that felt personal to millions of people around the world. His performances carried warmth, sincerity, and an emotional honesty that made audiences feel seen rather than entertained. Whether he was dancing across a stage or delivering a quiet line filled with emotion, he had a rare ability to connect without effort. What made him unforgettable was not only his talent, but also the kindness that seemed to radiate from him both on and off the screen. Fans admired his confidence, yet those who worked with him often spoke about his humility and gentle humor. He carried fame lightly, never letting it overshadow the values he learned growing up. Behind the glowing lights and applause, he remained a grounded man who valued relationships, discipline, and authenticity above everything else. Early life and the roots of determination. Born in Houston, Texas, Patrick grew up in a household where creativity and discipline were equally important. His mother was a dance instructor, and from a young age he learned that success came from practice and patience rather than shortcuts. Dance wasn't just our activity for him, it became a language through which he expressed emotion and built confidence. Training was demanding, sometimes exhausting, but it shaped his resilience and work ethic. Injuries and setbacks in his early years could have discouraged him, yet they instead strengthened his resolve to keep moving forward. Those formative experiences quietly prepared him for the unpredictable nature of show business. The determination he developed in dance studios later became the same strength audiences admired in his acting career. Rise to fame and unforgettable performances. Patrick's journey to worldwide recognition did not happen overnight, but when it arrived, it felt natural and well-earned. Films like Dirty Dancing, Ghost, Point Break, and Roadhouse showcased not only his versatility but also his emotional depth. He could portray strength and vulnerability within the same scene, creating characters that felt real rather than fictional. Audiences did not just watch him, they believed him. His dance sequences became iconic, his romantic roles heartfelt, and his action performances filled with intensity that never felt forced. He approached each project with dedication, often training extensively to ensure authenticity. Co-stars frequently described him as focused, yet encouraging. Someone who elevated the entire cast simply through his presence. Pry, e 5-foot strength pest for your strength behind public success. Despite global fame, Patrick guarded his private life carefully, preferring simplicity over extravagance. He enjoyed quiet moments away from cameras, often spending time with horses, music, and close friends. Those who knew him well described a man who valued peace more than attention. He was not driven by headlines or awards, but by the satisfaction of meaningful work and lasting relationships. This balance allowed him to remain emotionally steady in an industry that often demands constant visibility. His calm nature also helped him navigate criticism and changing trends without losing confidence. Instead of chasing popularity, he focused on authenticity, believing that sincerity would outlast temporary fame. The diagnosis that changed everything. In early 2008, Patrick received life-altering medical news that quietly shifted the course of his journey. At a time when his career remained active and respected, he learned that he was facing a serious illness. The announcement surprised fans and colleagues alike, as he had always appeared energetic and strong. Instead of responding with panic or anger, he approached the situation with calm acceptance and practical focus. He discussed treatment options carefully and committed himself to doing everything possible to continue living fully. What stood out was not denial, but composure. He understood the challenge ahead, yet he refused to allow fear to define him. Public attention quickly intensified, but he maintained dignity in interviews, speaking with honesty and optimism. His message was simple and powerful. Life was still valuable, and he intended to embrace every moment rather than retreat from the world. Continuing to work with purpose. Rather than stepping away from his profession, Patrick chose to continue acting while undergoing treatment, demonstrating extraordinary dedication. Returning to the set of The Beast, he maintained a professional routine that inspired everyone around him. Colleagues recalled that he arrived prepared, treated the crew with respect, and rarely drew attention to his personal struggle. For him, work was not merely employment, it was a source of identity and vitality. Acting allowed him to focus on creativity instead of uncertainty, giving his days structure and meaning. Viewers later praised his performance, often unaware of the effort it required behind the scenes. His commitment was not about proving toughness, but about preserving a sense of normalcy and purpose. By continuing to create art during a difficult period, he showed that passion can be a powerful source of strength and that meaningful work can bring light even during challenging times. A love story that endured everything. Central to Patrick's life was his relationship with his wife, Lisa Nemi, a partnership built on decades of shared dreams, respect, and unwavering loyalty. They met at a young age through dance and grew together both personally and professionally. Their bond was rooted in friendship as much as romance, which gave it remarkable stability. During difficult periods, Lisa became not only his partner but also his emotional anchor, offering quiet encouragement and constant presence. They valued simple routines, reading together, listening to music, and spending time outdoors, which strengthened their connection beyond public life. Friends often noticed the ease with which they communicated, sometimes without words at all. Their marriage demonstrated that enduring love is built on patience, humor, and mutual understanding. Through every high and low, their partnership remained a steady source of comfort and meaning for both of them, facing the final chapter with grace. As time passed, Patrick gradually shifted his focus from professional goals to personal peace and meaningful moments. He chose to spend more time at home, surrounded by familiar comforts and the people who mattered most. Those who visited often described an atmosphere of calm rather than sorrow, shaped by acceptance and gratitude. He filled his days with music, reading, and quiet reflection, appreciating the simplicity of everyday life. Even when physical strength declined, his spirit remained gentle and attentive toward others. He expressed appreciation for the support he received and often redirected conversations toward positivity instead of worry. This period revealed the depth of his character more clearly than any film role ever could. Words that reflected a lifetime of love. In his final days, what mattered most to Patrick was not fame or achievements, but the people closest to him. Moments were filled with quiet conversations, shared memories, and simple expressions of affection. According to Lisa's later reflections, his last spoken words were gentle and sincere, expressing love rather than fear. That simplicity carried enormous meaning because it reflected the values he had lived by for decades. There were no grand speeches or dramatic gestures, only honesty and warmth. Those nearby described the atmosphere as peaceful, filled with gratitude rather than sadness. His farewell was not a performance, but a personal moment shared between two people who had supported each other through life's entire journey. In that quiet exchange, he reminded everyone that relationships and compassion outlast applause, proving that genuine love remains the most powerful legacy anyone can leave behind. A legacy that continues to inspire. Years after his passing, Patrick Swayze's influence continues to resonate across generations. His films remain beloved, his music still heard, and his story frequently revisited as a source of motivation and comfort. Fans admire not only the characters he portrayed, but also the integrity with which he lived his own life. Memorials, documentaries, and charitable efforts inspired by his journey reflect the lasting impression he left on the world. Lisa's advocacy work further transformed personal loss into public awareness, helping others find hope and support. Patrick's legacy is not defined solely by cinematic achievements, but by the example he set, discipline paired with kindness, talent balanced by humility, and courage guided by love. He showed that success is most meaningful when accompanied by compassion and authenticity. Even today, his story encourages people to value relationships, pursue passions wholeheartedly, and face life's uncertainties with grace.